Hey everybody, Faded Phoenix here, and I'm here to talk to you today about what is next for Smash DLC. Now, after the Byleth reveal, we now know that it's not all just going to be third party that's represented in the Fighter's Pass. So, I was thinking about who's next, who are they gonna add as the next 6 characters, who might not even be the last characters. There might be a third Fighter's Pass, but that's just wishful thinking for as far as we are right now. Anyways, so I was thinking about the new DLC, and I was thinking it'd go one of two ways. One, Sakurai said that Smash is a celebration of gaming. It's not just a party/fighting game anymore, it's a celebration of gaming. And the fact that he reiterated that in the Byleth trailer really sells the idea that they might try to represent all different types of genres of games. So I want to look at that perspective first. One character that I think is a guarantee is Minecraft Steve, and that's because, well, like I said, Sakurai said Smash is a celebration of gaming, and what better way to celebrate gaming than to add the main character from the best-selling game of all time. So I think Steve would be a good pick. Well, one, because he's in the best-selling game ever made. 2, he would have a unique moveset, which all the DLC characters have so far. 3, he's one of the most recognizable characters in gaming history. I wouldn't say as much as Mario or Link or Pikachu, but he's up there for sure. And he would be a playable indie character as a full-on character, because we have Sans and Cuphead Mii costumes now that are almost playable characters, like they're modified Mii costumes to seem like it's a playable character, but I think they can make Steve a whole character. And then next is going more to the genres that I mentioned before, and one of those genres that's not yet represented is the visual novel genre. And as Capcom loves to have its characters in Smash, I think that a good contender for this slot would be Phoenix Wright. Ace Attorney is one of the more popular and well-known visual novel series, and Capcom already has Mega Man, Ryu, and Ken as playable characters, so they're no stranger to having their characters playable in Smash. And I think he would have an Apollo alternate costume, or either an Echo Fighter, because Apollo is another great main character, and I don't think they would play too differently. They could just borrow from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for that moveset. And then next we move on to the first-person shooter genre, which doesn't have any representation. I know the whole thing about guns in Smash. Joker has a gun just because, well, it's an airsoft gun. But a lot of people don't know that, so like, oh, guns are allowed in Smash now. They might be, I don't know. So I think a good representation for this, I'm not too sure, but I have 3 possibilities. 1, Doom Guy, because he's highly requested, and Bethesda straight up said that they've talked to Nintendo about Smash, so he would be a contender character. Another one is Tracer, because Blizzard also came out and said that they would want any of their characters in Smash, and Tracer is the mascot, so she would be the playable character. And then lastly is Master Chief, but the thing with Master Chief is, even though he's still possible, if he gets in or Steve gets in, I don't think the other one would get in, because that's 3 Microsoft characters in an 11 character pass. I'm not sure how likely that is, but anything's possible, I suppose. And I believe that's it for the genres that I was talking about, and now we're gonna move on to what's the most likely, I think. This isn't to say that Steve, Phoenix Wright, Doom Guy, Master Chief, and Tracer aren't likely. I think they are, but I think these next characters are much more likely. So first we have, well, what's the next first party character gonna be? Because they added Byleth, a lot of people didn't like it. How dare Nintendo add a first party character to their own game, you know? So the next first party has to be something that a lot of people will like, and I mean, I'm not sure that they could deliver that. Not everybody's gonna like the same thing, but a few that I've thought of that could be good contenders that people have been requesting a lot. Bandana D is one. We haven't had a new Kirby character since Brawl, and there's only 3 of them for how big of a franchise Kirby is, and it seems like Bandana D got shafted. I'm not the biggest Kirby fan in the world, but I've heard a lot of people request him, so I think he's possible. Another one is Dixie Kong. I'm not sure about Dixie Kong. I feel like she would play pretty similarly to Diddy Kong, so people wouldn't like her as a whole new fighter if they had to pay $6 or whatever for her. But she's still a possibility. I think that Skull Kid would be a good Zelda character. He's been requested a lot. We haven't had a new Zelda character since Brawl, just like the Kirby franchise. And this is part of the reason people are really mad about Byleth being in, because Fire Emblem's gotten a new character in every single game since Fire Emblem has been out, and or at least out in Smash. And Zelda and Kirby haven't got one since Brawl. And there's 2 more first-party characters that I think are still likely. One of them is Rex. I haven't played Xenoblade 2, but I know a lot of people wanted him, and a lot of people were disappointed when he was just a Mii sword fighter costume. They said that they didn't have time to add him because the game came out too late in Smash development, but now that the DLC is being made, maybe he has his chance. And lastly is Cinderace. Now, I know a lot of people won't be happy if we get another final Fire Evolution Pokemon, as we already have too many Pokemon, but I feel like a Gen 8 Pokemon is inevitable at this point. I just don't think that Rillaboom or Inteleon would play as well in Smash as Cinderace would. And for the most likely characters, I think, moving away from first party, going back to third party, we have Dante, and you know, he's been speculated a lot. His name's been thrown around a lot lately, especially before Byleth. A lot of people were disappointed that it wasn't Dante. So I think he's possible. If it's not Dante, it's Phoenix Wright. If it's not Phoenix Wright, it's Dante, because they're at the front of Capcom, I think. I don't think they would add another Street Fighter character. Geno is another one that's been on a lot of people's minds. I'm not sure how he would work, if he would be a Mario character or a Mario RPG character, if they make a separate emblem for him. I think we'll get him or Crash Bandicoot, because they're both kind of old school characters. And some people weren't happy about Banjo because they called him a boomer character because he's not relevant, which is kind of the same thing with Geno. Not so much Crash, but Geno especially. Then another character that kind of falls into this is Rayman, because he's kind of from the older generations of gaming. He hasn't been around too much lately, but I think people would really like him in too. So I think it's going to be one of those 3, so Geno, Crash, or Rayman. And then we got to talk about Sora. Sora is one of the most requested characters for Smash Ultimate, and I think he would fit in extremely well. They don't need to have Donald and Goofy with him. They could have Riku as an alternate skin or as a character in the background. They have enough Kingdom Hearts original characters that they can just keep any Disney IPs just out of it entirely. Yeah, I think Sora is pretty much inevitable at this point. Disney's not going to be as rough about it as people think they are. I mean, there's been a few Kingdom Hearts games published only on Nintendo, so they have a pretty good relationship with Disney, and they're a lot more lenient about their gaming-only characters as opposed to their movie-only characters. Asking for Sora is one thing, but asking, for instance, I'm not saying it would happen, but asking for Mickey or Donald or Goofy, on the other hand, is way less realistic. Okay, now I just want to talk about the characters that I believe will be in. No, I'm kidding. The characters that I want to get in. Well, mainly, I think that my most wanted character was Joker. So I'm really not in a place to complain about any new DLC. I got my dream character, so yeah, I can't really be mad about any new characters. I can't be picky about them or anything. I got Crom too. He was my most wanted first party. And then Byleth, Three Houses is one of my favorite Switch games. But besides them, it's never gonna happen. Neither of these are gonna happen, but they're not entirely out of the realm of possibility. I think Scorpion would make a good pick. Just because we have Ryu, Ken, and Terry. And you know, this is a crossover fighting game, of course, so we need Scorpion in there and Heihachi. I don't necessarily want Heihachi, but I think he'd kind of be shafted if he wasn't added there. And then I want Geralt from the Witcher series. I know the Witcher is a book series, but there's been arguments made that book Geralt and game Geralt are two completely different characters. So I think he would be cool. I already have a whole moveset planned out for him. That would be pretty cool. I've talked about it a lot with my friends. But yeah, those are my most wanted characters. And Phoenix Wright, of course. You know, I said that earlier. Phoenix Wright, Sora, Scorpion, and Geralt. Those are probably my most wanted characters. I think the most realistic out of these is Sora for sure, but my most wanted would probably be Geralt. I think I would lose it if I saw a Geralt reveal trailer. But so just to recap, I just said my most wanted and who's the most likely, but out of all the characters I mentioned, I think the most likely for the 6 DLC are going to be Minecraft Steve for sure, Sora for sure, visual novel character, doesn't have to be Phoenix Wright, but I think he's best in the running. An FPS character, probably Doom Guy. And then a first party, so probably I think it's going to be Cinderace or another Pokemon. And Rayman, Geno, or Crash. So those 6 slots, not 6, I named more than 6 characters. Those 6 slots I think will be the DLC, but people have been wrong about Smash speculation all the time. This isn't necessarily me speculating, it's just saying what I think is likely. I haven't seen any leaks confirming these characters or anything like that since the Byleth reveal. So that's just my 2 cents on the whole thing, who I think will be in Smash. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button and the bell, leave a like, all that good stuff. A Discord link will be down in the description. And I'll catch you in the next one for a Byleth first look stream. Take care, y'all.